Hello and welcome to a North Wales side-by-side video. As everybody will be aware, we have a Labour government in the United Kingdom now who are so far to the left, so under the control of Davos and so much under control of the World Economic Forum. It is scary what is going to happen in this country over the next couple of months. And we all know Sir Keir Starmer, our new Prime Minister, is hell-bent on the green agenda. And we all know the green agenda is not going to work. Buried in his manifesto was a big number, which was £950 million, which he is going, or he has said in the manifesto, he's going to spend on improving the infrastructure for the charging of electric vehicles. Yeah, £950 million of taxpayers' money that could be spent on better things like improving the roads, improving the health service, bringing the price of things down in this country. Everything that's gone on, this cost of living crisis, is government made. Now, we all know the green agenda affects us all in one way or another, but as motorists it affects us even more, because Keir Starmer has decided in his infinite wisdom to now ban the sale of cars, petrol and diesel, as of 2030 now, instead of 2035 where it was moved to by the previous government. Right, I'm going to ask you a quick question and ask you, who do you think the biggest fleet of EVs is owned by in the United Kingdom? You've got 5 seconds to come up with an answer. Type it in the comments. The biggest fleet of EVs in the United Kingdom is Mobility. The Mobility scheme has more EVs in its fleet than any other fleet in the country. Now, I don't think EVs are a particularly good idea for anybody who's got a disability, who has problems with motion. They've got a car to give them their independence because they've got problems getting about. They've got mobility issues. How many of you have actually watched somebody who's got a mobility issue get in and out of a car? And 99% of the time that person has to be assisted into the car and out of the car, and it takes time. And I'm somebody who has personal experience in this because of my partner Margaret, who is a mobility customer. Her cars are on the mobility scheme. Right. I have to assist Margaret into the car, and it takes time. It's not a 2-second job, it's a couple of minutes to get her in a car, and probably twice as long to get her out with the mobility issues she has. What scares me about EVs and people with mobility issues is what happens if the EV that's been supplied by Mobility which is run by the government, goes into thermal runaway whilst that disabled person is in the car. You don't get a lot of time to get out of a motor vehicle when a battery goes into thermal runaway. It's okay for an able-bodied person, they're just out the car, get away. It's not so easy for somebody with mobility issues who needs assistance in and out of that car, where it can take a couple of minutes. That is potentially life-threatening. So I'm going to make a bold statement here and say, because of the green agenda and because of where Labour are going to take us, and because they're turning their entire mobility fleet into an EV fleet, they are potentially now going to murder, because of their policies, multiple disabled people. It is discrimination against the people with disabilities. Just have a think about it. What I've said, the time it takes to get in and out of a car is the difference between getting out of that car in a thermal runaway incident or not getting out of it, and potentially that person losing their life, and also the person assisting them to get them out losing their life because of the way EV batteries burn and the noxious fumes that they produce when they go into thermal runaway. So our new Labour government are potential murderers. That's my bold statement for the night. Just think about everything I've said in that video. Right, in this video I'm trying to highlight what I see as a potential problem with EVs when they go into thermal runaway, and particularly as the mobility fleet, these are the cars that the government supply to people with mobility issues, they are pushing EVs onto the wrong people. And Margaret's assisted me in this video. We're just going through our normal routine of me taking Margaret to work in the morning. The routine we go through getting into the car, and the routine we have to go through every time we need to get Margaret out of the car. And as you'll see in the video, it takes us a lot longer to get Margaret out of the car with her disability than it would for an able-bodied person to get themselves out of that car in the event of a thermal runaway. This is actual footage from this morning of me dropping Margaret off at work, and we're going through our routine. I can't rush her. It's impossible to rush Margaret. She has to wait for me to help her out the car. So there's time involved in every process that we go through. Some of you will say you didn't need to get the bags out of the car, but they're personal belongings, and in the event of something going wrong, you're going to try and grab whatever you can out of that car. It's just the way people are. That's my view on the green agenda and what they're pushing on mobility customers. They're going to potentially kill lots of people. Hopefully it never happens, but the potential is there. So just have a think about what I've said. Thanks for watching. Please consider liking, please consider subscribing, and please put your comments down below and let me know what you think about what I've said. Just have a think about what I've said. And next time you're out and you see somebody being assisted in and out of a car, consider how long it takes them to get in and out of that car, and you'll see where I'm coming from. Thanks for watching. Powering down my lithium powered hybrid car.